All right, what's up, y'all? It is Wooly, and today I want to talk about Destiny. Specifically, we want to talk about PvP and what could be perceived as the meta now. As somebody who has played Destiny for a very long time, original, year one, beta, all the way through D1's lifespan, and then a love affair on and off again with Destiny 2. Now, as somebody who has not played since about 2019, whenever Forsaken was, I ran a lot of comp back then with my handy dandy Cerberus Revolver, my trusty Luna's Howl, my oh so toxic Recluse. We had a lot of fun then, but the game was not as balanced back then as it was today as far as the landscape of weapons. So when I came back a few days ahead of Lightfall, obviously I had to jump into PvP because we are a glutton for punishment. So after a few matches, I noticed I was getting unalived by hand cannons, sidearms, but not just hand cannon and sidearms, not just sniper rifles, a little bit of everything. So I was interested, and I did what anybody would naturally do. I went to YouTube and I looked this up to see what kind of weapons I should be focusing on. And I was pleasantly surprised to find out that ARs had been given a buff. Because ARs have always been fun to use in Destiny, however they have not always been the best option to take into the Crucible. But it seems with the slight buff they got, they are performing better than ever, and you can really hold your own against somebody rocking a hand cannon or a sidearm or an SMG. Depending on the RPMs of the AR you got, you can really hang in there no matter if you're at distance, mid-range, close range. You know, it's good to have a variety of weapons to take with you. I like running a scout rifle for the larger maps. I'm not big on snipers, but I do like running a scout rifle. I still keep an AR. On this map, I'm running two ARs, actually. I'm running the Suros Regime, 360 RPM, and then I'm running the Gnawing 100, 600 RPM, for when things get tough and we're up close and personal. So, my experience so far running PvP has been interesting. Like I said, it's an interesting place that PvP is in now. Obviously, you know, the conversation aside is that PvP has not had a lot of updates as far as maps go. I think there's been a couple added since the last time I played. I don't know how many, maybe like 2 or 3. So the conversation for another day there, right? But PvP overall feels very balanced when it comes to the weapons that you choose. As far as the builds, you know, again, we'll save that for another conversation for another day. But if you're somebody who is looking to return to Destiny, somebody who is just interested in Destiny, somebody who is curious about what would be called the meta in PvP with Destiny, there really isn't one. You can pretty much run whatever you want and everything seems to be pretty equally balanced. Now, obviously, that's situational. Of course, if you're trying to use an auto rifle from across the map against somebody rocking a sniper, that's a given, right? That's not going to happen. But there's a lot of different options. There's a lot of different play styles, a lot of different builds that you can do. So like I said, I carry a few weapons with me. Now you have, I guess, what you can call armory, so to speak, right? You have builds that you can make and save and then load them up on the fly when you go into specific content. So that applies to PvP as well. So that's nice. You can switch out your gear if you want to be a beefy boy and just rack up that resilience, or if you want to have high mobility and glide around the map because we're cheesy hunters. Whatever you want to do. There's a lot of different ways that you can play PvP, but as far as the main thing I wanted to talk about, like I said, that was going to be the weapon aspect and how balanced everything really does feel. Like I said, as somebody who has played Destiny for years, at least centered around this conversation, I think Bungie has done a very good job of balancing the weapons, and I'm happy that ARs are actually truly useful. Yes, you could have always used them in the past, but right now they feel a lot better than they ever have. It feels more like year one Destiny to me as far as the PvP goes when it comes to using ARs, except everything is competitive at this point. Now, We'll circle back to this conversation once I actually start jumping back into comp. If I jump back into comp, because I really don't see a reason to jump into competitive. There's not really many rewards. You know, things haven't been updated. So there's nothing really for me to chase in there. I'm just casually enjoying PvP as a tryhard. And we're having a lot of fun. But that's the conversation I wanted to have with you guys today. So let me know down below in the comments what your thoughts are on the current state of PvP. Feel free to talk about, like I said, the lack of updates. But feel free to expand on how you feel about the balance of the game right now. Whether that includes the weapons, whether that includes the actual supers, things like that. Drop them down below. But I appreciate you stopping by as always. If you're new to the channel, consider sticking around. Or not, it's cool, whatever. Maybe give me a like. That'd be appreciated. But that's all I got for you today, guys. So, on that note, Bully out. Stay frosty.